everybody. Hello. Happy
As a reward
Wednesday.
for showing up so early, you get to see a rare Buster sighting.
Buster!
Yes, he's still alive. Nobody sees him because he's usually kind of camera shy. But yeah, no, he's actually staying here this time. I was telling Heather, like, he's gonna run off after after I say hi and everything. He'll be like, yeah, but like he's staying. All right, cool. So maybe I'll show him again if you stick around.
Maybe we'll have a lap buster.
Yeah.
Stream.
No, Chap will come in and take his spot. That's what he does a lot. He'll just come in, he'll sort of go, me, and Buster will just leave, and Chapel's like, my spot!
Until he's
kind of a douche to him a little bit.
Aww.
But,
we love the brother dynamic.
Yeah. So he's pretty cute.
Yeah. Well, welcome everyone to Chatting with Doug and Buster, apparently.
Yes.
I see we have a ton of questions rolling in. I see that you all really missed Doug last week, so we have a lot of questions here. So let's get to the rules so we can start answering these questions. First and foremost, we give priority to the bit messages and super chats, since that is some real world money spent. Towards the end of stream, sometimes we have time for regular chat questions or highlighted questions over on Twitch, but please save those for the actual, towards the end of stream, because, sorry, people on YouTube are telling me the audio is going in and out. Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Don't know what we can do about that.
I'm trying to look really fast. Is that
we are looking into it right now.
Yeah.
I will keep talking a little bit just to see if the audio keeps going in and out for people. So this is a testing voice going on right now. Nothing on my end.
Nothing on my end is saying anything's going wrong. So.
Oh. I thought you meant like no audio on
no. Oh, people are saying it's fine for them. Okay, it was just a couple people, maybe refreshed. Okay, great, awesome.
Cool.
Anyway, yes, don't repeat yourself over and over again in chat. You can get timed out or even banned if you're going to continuously repeat yourself, and nobody wants that, so just don't do it. Also, on the YouTube side of things, sorry, I got really derailed there. On the YouTube side of things, we prioritize super chats that are $5 and over, just because we have such a large volume of questions that comes in. It's just a way for us to prioritize and still be able to get to those non-paid questions. Please watch the length of your questions. The longer it is, the faster I have to read it, the more likely it is that we are going to lose the point and we do not have time to go back and repeat it. That also applies to parts. If you absolutely must break up your question or comment into multiple parts, then keep it to 3 absolute max. Again, we just kind of lose the point, how to connect part 7 with part 1, and we don't have time to try to figure out what you're talking about. So short and to the point, and less, or 3 or less, please. Please, no spoilers. Not everyone's had the chance to see the latest and greatest things that are out there. So no spoilers for shows, movies, whatever that have just come out. I believe at this point, Fantastic Four has been out long enough, right? We can talk about Fantastic Four, Superman.
Yeah, but, that means people have to have an interest in talking about it, so I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm a day. It's not even like that bad a movie, but when the second weekend, just nobody went back, I mean, was I the only person? I was like, I wonder why. God, there's just so many things to go back and see again.
Yeah. No, I get that. Cool. Oh, please keep it to 1 question per bit message or super chat. We have over 100 people here in multiple chats, and it just doesn't feel fair if you get to ask 5 and someone else hasn't even asked 1 yet. So 1 question per bit message or super chat, please. Other than that,
I think we got it.
I think that's it.
I think we good. Yeah.
No swearing, Doug. Yeah, great.
That's right. No swearing. And
Fantastic.
just for that, you get another Buster sighting. There he is. Look at him just laying
another Buster loaf as a treat.
Look at the camera. Look at the camera. Come on, you gotta look at the camera. Show me briefly. All right, we saw him there for a second. There you go. Actually, he's pretty cute looking there, man. That's such a cute kitty. Yeah, he's pretty cute.
That's adorable, Doug.
He's pretty damn cute. He is like, the vets always call him Rabbit Soft. Like, he does feel like a rabbit. He's one of the softest kitties ever. He's super, super dang cute. Anyway, sorry about that.
Never apologize for Buster. All right, let's get to it. Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you finished Rick and Morty season 8 yet? And if so, thoughts? Even though I wouldn't call it their best year, the finale was one of their most creative and emotional recent episodes.
That's so funny because that's what I'm up to. I've seen all of them except the finale. That's the last one I'm on. A little hit and miss. The misses aren't awful. They just seem like either stuff we've seen before or just kind of weak. Like, kind of like at the beginning of the episode, you know what they're gonna do, kind of thing. But some of them are really creative. That first one with the Matrix, I thought was so funny, and just the longer and longer it goes, kind of the more twisted and messed up it is, and just how meaningless it all was, but so harsh and mean. Yeah, I mean, those are the ones I like. But no, then there's about, like, from what I've seen, maybe 4 or 5 like really solid episodes, and then a couple that were just okay or just, you know, kind of on the lower side.
The Wizard of What, thank you for the $5 super chat. Surprised you didn't make a Mean Girls joke with the Youch bit. Gretchen, stop trying to make Youch happen. By the way, would you ever do an NC on Mean Girls?
You know, probably not. Not all because I dislike the movie. I do like the movie. I think it's very funny.
I love Mean Girls.
No, but that's the thing. The following is so huge and so diehard. And like when you brought up that, oh, I'm surprised you didn't make a Mean Girls joke. Like, I saw it once, maybe twice, and I had a good time. Like, it's a good movie, but maybe if I grew up with it, I would have more of a connection with it, or even like, I don't know. It's a solid, good movie. I get why it has a following. I'm just not in that following. You know what I mean? So like, there's maybe 3 jokes I can remember off the top of my head, but it's still a good flick. Yeah, I don't think I'm the one to talk about. You need someone that really understands why it's so popular, and at the very least has a passion to talk about. And I don't really have a passion. If I had to, it'd be fine. But I mean, like, I don't really have a passion to talk about it.
Wayflow, thank you so much for that 73-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back. Appreciate it. Appreciate everything that you do.
Indeed.
Thank you, Wayflow. Alex Loves Musicals, thank you for the 500 bits. What did you guys think of the final Wicked for Good trailer? I can't wait. It looks epic.
Yeah, it does. You know, it's the exact same thing in the first movie, and everybody's pointed out that weird white sheen over everything looks so weird. And it just didn't look good in the first film. I thought maybe they would kind of clean it up for this one. They don't. That's the only nitpick I have. Everything else looked really good. And again, I'm with you, Heather. I can't wait to hear No Good Deed in this version.
Oh my gosh, just the little snippets we got in this trailer.
Yeah, sounds really good.
Gravel she's putting into it. I'm like, I'm gonna genuinely just ascend. A new plane of reality is gonna unlock.
Dare say you be defying gravity.
I will defy gravity. Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hello, all. Doug, I was curious, what are your top 3 favorite Bojack Horseman moments?
Boy, moments? You know, they're all difficult moments. When he tells his friend, try not to go into spoilers. He's visiting a friend, and at the end he says, I don't know why I came here. And he said, yeah, you do. That was so harsh and so true. And such a good, like, that's like one of the great comebacks. The scene at the, what do you call it where you look at the stars? The building where you look at stars.
I wanted to call it the astrology. That's not right.
No, that's not it.
It's a planetarium.
You know what that scene is. That scene's really great. And then, God, they're all spoilers. Probably. I think, and some people don't like this, and I get it, but the eulogy episode, I love an episode that is nothing but a eulogy. And about maybe a third of the way through, I'm like, is this going to be the whole episode? I was thinking, I hope it is, because you know they would see that as a challenge, and they are up to that challenge. And I thought they just followed through, and the payoff, my God, was that just one of the great payoffs. No, that show is so good.
Truth, Hope, Love, thank you for the $5 super chat. I thought Galaxy would be the 3rd movie, but oh well. Anyway, who do you 2 choose for Rosalina? I thought maybe Julia Roberts or Angela Bassett.
And again, I think I made this before. Maybe I didn't. I have never played Mario Galaxy. I know who the character is, but I have no idea what like her personality is like. And even with that said, I mean, they kind of pick people who almost don't have the personality of these characters to create something else,
Right.
or so. So I am not the one to ask. That's more of a Heather question.
Yeah, I'm still not sure. As much as I want her to play Zelda, I do think Hunter Schafer could also be a very interesting choice for Rosalina. I think she'd have an interesting voice for that, but we'll see. Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thoughts on the movies Kingsman: The Secret Service and There Will Be Blood?
Very. Now I will say, wait, Kingsman: Secret Service. That's the first one, right? Let me double check. Kingsman: Secret Service. Yeah, I think that's the first movie, right? It isn't just called Kingsman. Yeah, it's the first one. Okay. I liked it. I enjoy. I hear the sequels aren't that good, but the first one's just odd enough, but also like kind of cool enough. It feels like the director of First Class, like in a good way. So I like that. And There Will Be Blood. I do like, as a lot of people point out, it's a little bit more for the performance, but it is a good movie. It is an interesting movie. It is one of the few Paul Thomas Anderson movies where I'm just like, yeah, we could go a little faster here. We could snip things a little bit, because I usually don't think that about movies. I usually like how they're paced. That is the only one where I'm like, we can go a little faster here. I get it.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Fun fact about Ants, the crew enjoyed Christopher Walken's voice work so much that Cutter's role was expanded. He was originally a faceless lackey to General Mandible, but Walken brought some unexpected depth to the character.
Yeah, I hear just anytime he's on a movie, people love working with him. He's just like so quirky and odd, and people don't know. I've known a few people that have worked with him before, and they're just like, he's everything you want him to be, and it's fantastic.
Clemmer, thank you for the 54-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back. Appreciate that. Hey, guys, just wanted to know if you ever plan to bring Tournament Tuesdays back. I asked because my work schedule only has me off on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Yes and no, not really, traditionally. However, we are going to keep having these sub goals, and I did see we are inching slowly closer to it here. And these sub goal incentives we will do on Tuesdays if we hit the goal. Right now, we have a goal up for a Universal Monsters movie tier list, which I think could be really fun because it will happen in October, and it is September currently over on Twitch. So I think !September will give you all the details about how to take advantage of some of those discounts, but there's discounts. I'm just saying. Yeah, great. Sorry, my brain got derailed there for a second.
I hear that.
Jamie, thank you for the $5 super chat. Do you like the Captain Underpants movie enough to review it for Nostalgia Critic?
I don't know about for a Nostalgia Critic. If I ever do Dreamworks again, I like to throw it in there. But I had a good time with it. I know nothing about the books. I know the drawing style. That's about it. But so I had no expectations going into it. It's not like a phenomenal movie or anything, but I'm like, no, it's got some good laughs out of me. I enjoyed it.
The Disney Nerd, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hello, Heather and Doug. None of the characters' names go with yours, and neither does the title of the movie, so you're just Heather and Doug today.
Not even Doug Z? Okay,
Doug's.
I'll take it. See, there you go.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you cat on a hot tin roof with Paul Newman and Elizabeth Taylor, and if so, thoughts?
You know, that's another one of those classics I haven't seen. I know the title. I know it's like a classic play, a classic story and everything, but I never have seen either the play or the film, so I probably should.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, I can't remember if I asked, but which performance do you think is the best acted? Gandolfini as Tony Soprano or Cranston as Walter White?
I think Gandolfini. You know, Cranston obviously is great as Walter White. There are moments, it's intentional, where he's supposed to be really big and over the top and everything. And I do feel like sometimes I'm like, you could, brought that back a little bit, even though I got the idea of it, where Gandolfini was just, even when he had to do bad episodes, he was always stellar. I mean, he was just phenomenal. He never said a word wrong or got a breath wrong or anything. I mean, he really did just breathe that character. So yeah, I think I gotta go with him. But they're both great. They're both wonderful performances.
At Movies, thank you for the 500 bits. Fun fact, the role of Maggie Dubois from The Great Race was originally meant for Julie Andrews, who had to drop out due to her commitment to The Sound of Music. Natalie Wood then reluctantly signed on for the part, despite suffering from depression, as the studio promised her the lead role in the drama film Inside Daisy Clover. How do you think Andrews would have fared if she were cast instead?
I'm sure it would have been fine, but man, it's really hard for me to see anyone else but Natalie Wood in that role. Which is funny because wasn't that the thing before? Didn't she play My Fair Lady? It was supposed to be the other way around. Yeah. Where I could definitely see Julie Andrews being better in My Fair Lady. I can't see her being better in Great Race.
Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 500 bits. What are your thoughts on Rush Hour 3?
Probably the weakest of them. I still remember liking it. Okay, it got some laughs. I definitely remember some moments where, I don't remember specifically what they were, but I just remember kind of scratching my head, like, what was that about? There's one or two moments that are a little weird, but I remember liking it all right.
The Ultimate Frozen Fan, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, remember a couple of weeks ago the movie I couldn't think of you thought was Psycho? It was actually Taking Lives with Ethan Hawke. Ever seen it?
I don't think so. Let me double check. Anytime I hear a movie as kind of a generic title, I'm always like, oh, okay. I remember this being advertised. But no, I have not seen this. It didn't look like anything, but I could be wrong. Maybe I should check it out.
Trip, thank you for the $5 super chat. How do you think the liar reveal plot in Streetcar was handled? Also, have you ever seen Whiplash with J.K. Simmons?
No, and everyone always says, have you seen Whiplash? Have you seen Whiplash? And everyone I have on my movies to watch list. It's always one of those where I'm like, yeah, it looks good. It's just nothing screaming at me to see it, except people literally screaming at me to see it. So I should check it out. And then, I mean, Streetcar Named Desire, it's pretty hard to find much fault in that story. I mean, I guess the closest you could point to is like some of the changes they made for the movie, just because censors wouldn't allow them. But yeah, no, I mean, it all played out pretty good. I mean, it's a classic for a reason.
Firstborn, thank you for the $5 super chat. Opinions of Michael Giacchino music, J.J. Abrams' Trek, The Batman, Incredibles, Fantastic Four, and do you think DiCaprio's acting has gotten better?
Yeah, it kind of depends on the movie. There are times I can watch him and not see him perform, and there are times where he can pick a role where that actually really helps. In The Departed, I think that really helps. That he doesn't quite fit in, and it does kind of feel like he's putting on a performance because he literally is, and people suspect him. So like there, I think it kind of works. Or was it? It wasn't a good movie, but was it? Look Up. I thought he played that very well because again, he's supposed to be kind of the outsider and kind of stand out. But what was the other part of the question? I'm sorry.
About the musician or
oh yeah, the composer. No, I really like his. I can never say his last name either. I have such a hard time with it. He's one of the few composers out there that's still doing themes, like melody themes. That's kind of a thing that I have an issue with, even though I do like a lot of modern film score, composers, I should say. There is an emphasis probably from the directors to just have more of a sound than a melody, and I do miss melodies. And his melodies are still pretty good, and you can kind of tell when it's him. There's still a very distinct sound to it. I love, after I left watching Fantastic Four, I just love going, Fantastic Four! I mean, I love doing that. So yeah, no, he does really good stuff. I love especially the slower emotional stuff, like I'm Lost. Oh my God, so many of those music tracks are just beautiful.
Fat Lord, thank you for the $5 super chat. Would you ever consider reviewing something from the Ben 10 franchise? It's one of my favorite shows.
I've never seen it. I know the general gist of it. And what sucks is that is one of those shows where I'm like, if I grew up with this, I know I would love it. This just because, am I right? It's a thing where he has like a watch that can turn him into different monsters.
Yeah.
Right? Is that I mean, that that is so cool. And man, it is one of those where I'm just like, I love to watch. I already have, again, both shows for adults and kids to watch. I still want to see Batman Beyond. I want to see Static Shock. And that's another one where it's like, it's lower on the list. I mean, it's not even technically on the list, but I'm like, I've always been a little curious about it. But yeah, I should know about the franchise before I review any whatever TV movies or anything like that. Yeah.
Jager, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, will there be a Disney December on Alien Earth? And have you seen Friendship with Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd? I think you'd really enjoy it.
I did see for on Alien Earth. Probably not. I got enough shows in the lineup already. I'm in the middle of watching it though. I am liking it. I did see Friendship. It's a difficult movie to watch because I do like that guy's comedy, but man, you have to be in the right mood. You have to be in the right headspace. And when I was watching it, he was just getting on my nerves so much, even though I know that was the point. And all I had to do was just think of him as like somebody, kind of like an old friend I used to know. And I'm like, yeah, all right, now this is kind of fun. If you know a person like this and you can say, ooh, this is like that person, I feel like you'll like it more, if that makes sense. If not, it's just going to be grating on you, I feel like. But I did have a good time with it.
89 Sigma, thank you for the $5 super chat. Mr. Walker, do you plan to talk about King of the Hill reboot for Disney December? It's one of the best reboots.
Yes, I really enjoyed it. It's very hard to find, honestly, any faults in it. Yeah, no, so I am going to talk about that and go into great detail about it.
Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 500 bits. Favorite Phantom of the Opera movie?
Well, clearly the Joel Schumacher. No, I might have to go honestly with the silent one. It was just so groundbreaking. It has the visuals I remember most. I do like the one, oh, who was the Universal Monster ones? Which one? Who starred as that? Universal Monsters, Phantom of Opera. Who was that? Is that Claude Rains? Is that who that was? No, Lon Chaney. It's just showing all the Lon Chaney ones. Let me try color. Sorry, I won't be too long here.
Like,
it was Claude Rains. I'm sorry. I had to know that was Claude because everything's telling me it's Claude Rains, but it just feels like a Doug mistake. I
need to confirm.
Yes, that was good too. I love the chandelier scene, especially. I thought was pretty effective.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Heather, who are your top 3 favorite actors of all time? Ooh, great question. Listen, don't judge me. I have a huge soft spot for Christian Bale. I've loved him since I saw him in Newsies when I was just a wee lass.
I mean, he's a legit good actor.
Christian Bale. He's a very good actor. I also really love Sir Patrick Stewart. He's
I love
great
you use
in
the royal
everything.
sir.
Of course, he deserves his sir. I love him in everything. And then maybe I'll throw y'all a curveball with Gregory Peck. He's fantastic.
I love Gregory Peck. Oh my god. Oh, like chillingly good.
Yeah. Case, thank you for the $20 super chat. Doug, I know I've said this before, but you should totally do the original 1977 The Hills Have Eyes for Nostalgia-ween. That's quite a bit to poke fun at, and it's still really effective for a low-budget horror movie.
You know, it's another one I haven't seen. It's another one I have on a list of like movies I should check out. A lot of horror movies around Halloween time I usually like to watch with my wife. She likes scary movies and stuff, but she doesn't get into the ones like, I don't know how you describe, like really dirty, deserty, hot, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that kind of stuff. And I know it's that kind of movie, so it's one of those things where if I did see it, well, I mean, I'll see it at some point, but I gotta make some time to see it, if that makes sense. Then I'll see if it makes sense to do an NC on it.
James, thank you for the $5 super chat. Happy unbirthday to you, Doug.
Thank you. Whoa.
I want to recommend Cockneys vs. Zombies, a fun action horror comedy better than Shaun of the Dead, in my opinion.
I love the title. Just the title alone, I kind of want to see that. Yeah, I'll try to check it out. I am listening. I'm just closing the door here.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Favorite scene in Half Baked?
The Bob Saget scene's pretty funny. I'm trying to go. back now too. It's funny because I've seen the movie a couple times. I remember it wasn't one of those where I'm like, this is the holy grail or anything like that, but I remember liking it. It's really been a while now, the more I think about it. I want to say there was a scene where Chappelle makes like a speech or something like that. That was pretty funny, but I'm blanking. I think I need to see it again. I think it's been long enough. That's just so funny. Like I'm totally blanking on that. Yeah. So a toss up between the Bob Saget scene and maybe a scene where Chappelle may or may not have made a speech. I'm sorry. That's a really terrible answer.
Deshaun, thank you for that 19-month membership over on YouTube. Welcome back. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
KJK, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey, Doug, I remember hearing you say that you didn't like the third season of Stranger Things. While I agree that it's the weakest season, what do you specifically not like about it?
The comedy. Oh, and just so many of the choices they made. I forget the guy's name. He's in like Thunderbolts and stuff like that. And he's usually so good in that show, but and I kind of blame the writing around. Just the writing around the character was so bad, but he was just so stupid and so obnoxious. I just couldn't stand watching him. He was the biggest problem, and everything else I just remember kind of being off and like nobody quite talk right. Really spoke with any like this is how they would normally speak. I don't know. Everything just felt off, and then 4 kind of brought it back, and it got even though it had issues too. I thought it kind of got it back on track.
Trip, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you heard of the book Lily's Purple Plastic Purse?
No, it's a fun title though.
Yeah, I haven't either. Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Possible NC of the 2001 film See Spot Run. I love Michael Clark Duncan as he was the only good part of that film.
I don't even know if I've heard of that movie. I'll try to check it out, but yeah, it's not even ringing a bell.
Nate, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, would you consider doing an NC on American Legends, which is a Disney film containing multiple shorts and is narrated by James Earl Jones?
I know what that is. Those are shorts that already, except for one of them, those are shorts that already existed before then. And so it's one of those things where it's like, well, I've kind of seen these shorts already, and they're good. And I like the new one they added too, especially the style of it. I really liked. I don't know if I do an NC on it, though. Even like a Disney December feels weird because I've talked about them all on there. If I was going to do it, I would do just the John Henry short. That's probably what I would do.
Too bad Waluigi time. Thank you for the £5 super chat. Got any hopes/expectations for the upcoming Mario Galaxy movie? By the way, you'll be happy to know that Cranky Kong is not going to be in it.
That's nice. That's nice. Man, that was my one hope. That was my one expectation. I'm so happy it happened. I know it sounds weird, but somehow get Wart in there. That'd be fun. I always have a soft spot for Wart. Oh, and I was gonna say maybe get Daisy in there too, but the guy introduced Rosalina, right? That's her name.
Yeah.
So maybe save Daisy for the next one.
Hut, thank you for the 500 bits. Hi, Doug. I was wondering if you could add a movie called Tiger Cruise to this year's Disney December. Apparently, it's Disney Channel's take on 9/11. The ads that advertising did what Hunchback did for its advertisement just show the kids having fun while they don't show the dark stuff.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I never even heard of it. Try to check it out.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Fun fact about ants. Arnold Schwarzenegger was originally offered the part of Weaver. When Schwarzenegger wanted to be paid for the role, it went to Sylvester Stallone, who was willing to do it for free.
Oh, that's funny. Man, just again, that rivalry going back and forth. I think they both would have been good. I think Stallone would be more convincing than Schwarzenegger would be, but I think Schwarzenegger would have fun with that. He already kind of looks like him the more I think about it. He looks like a mesh of Stallone and Schwarzenegger the more I think about it.
Ultimate Frozen fan, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, you say you won't have time to watch LS Mark's video on you, but it's only 30 minutes, not a 4-hour ranking. It's shorter than a streaming episode.
You'd be surprised, man. Again, the stuff on top of the stuff I already have to write, on top of the stuff I already have to watch and work on and write and do all that stuff. I know I had a convention this past weekend, but I have been getting knocked out a few times this past week. I'm trying to not have gluten. I'm trying to see if that does anything because that's like one of the few things I haven't tried. I keep it light, but I did realize I'm like, oh, I'm technically having at least a little bit every day, so I'm gonna try that. But anyway, rambling. I'll try my best, but man, there's things I really want to watch, and I have not gotten around to, and this is something I have kind of an interest in. So yeah, it's not high on the list. Let's say that. I'll do my best, but it's not high on the list.
Jacob, thank you for the $20 super chat. Have you
Thank
seen
you.
the trailer for the upcoming horror film Shelby Oaks? It's the feature film debut of your former collaborator Chris Duckman, and do you think you'll do a fresh thoughts review when it hits theaters?
A fresh thought. I don't think that's what it's called. It's either first thoughts or sibling rivalry or just Doug reviews, which I don't even call it that anymore. I have like a weird title next to it, which actually I love doing those now. Probably not. I try to stay away from YouTuber stuff unless it's something that like is kind of changing the landscape, the mold of the art style, like, so I will talk about like Has Been Hotel or Hell of a Boss, or I'm going to talk about this Knights of Guinevere coming up, because I do think that's changing a lot. If it turns out this movie's doing that, sure, but yeah, I try not to, because if it turns out I don't like it, uh there's already enough kind of like YouTubers backstabbing each other and calling each other out and saying bad stuff about one another. I want to be a little bit more positive, uplifting, which is not saying other people can't do that and oh shame you should be like me. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying it's just not something I'm super comfortable doing. So and I know just yeah, it's probably not it's probably just not a good idea. So unless I hear like it really is like changing a lot, and this is something you absolutely have to see, then maybe I will. But yeah, probably not. I usually try to stay away from like YouTuber movies. This is why I don't do like whatever Smosh the movie, or like I don't know, did Annoying Orange have it? No, Fred the movie and stuff like that. They're like, review that. I'm like, I just don't want to. It just feels like things would get messy.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. You should watch Jeremiah Johnson with Robert Redford on Tubi. It's where the meme where the bearded man nods rip Robert Redford.
I actually don't know that meme, man. I'm sorry. I feel like you're just throwing a ton of movies at me. I'm like, huh? Well, I'll say this. I usually know what the movies are. I just haven't seen them. But this one, I don't even know the meme. So I'll try to look into it.
The Disney Nerd, thank you for the $5 super chat. So I watched the 1913 version of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I gotta say, I was not impressed. Pretty bad start for the Universal Monster films.
I think I saw it, but it was so long ago. Like I was a kid, I think, when I saw it, and I don't have the. I remember some visuals, but I don't remember too much else about it. So yeah, I guess I'm not the best person to talk about it right now. But if we do that Universal Monster movies, I will watch it again. I'll have more to say about it. So let's get those subs up.
James, thank you for the $5 super chat. Check out the Kate Beckinsale British movie from 1995 called Cold Comfort Farm. I learned of it from Siskel and Ebert. I bought a copy and loved it.
Okay. I love watching those old reviews and finding movies that I haven't even heard of and just being like, oh, maybe I should look this up. I have found some good movies that way. And every once in a while, I'll find a stinker that they like. That happens too. But yeah, okay. I'll try to keep that in mind.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Ever read the comic where Superboy teams up with Poison Ivy and Robin and has to stop him in World's Finest?
No, I read comics when I was younger, and when I did, it was mainly X-Men or Batman or some spin-off ones like from Dark Horse, like The Mask or something like that. But yeah, I didn't read. And I did read some Batman too, but I think I put that in there anyway. Yeah, I didn't usually read Superboy.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thoughts on the animated movie Flow?
I liked it. I found I liked it more when I did not look up what the director was trying to do, because there were a lot of things where I was trying to put together what it was about. And every time I think I had it, there was something else that didn't connect. So I finally broke down. I usually don't like to do this, but I just wanted to see what the point of the movie was. Keeping in mind, no matter what it is, I'm still going to like the film. It had good atmosphere and kept my attention. It was suspenseful and everything. But when I looked it up, I was just like, oh, that's what we're doing? All right. Well, I kind of like my theories a little better.
Truth, Hope, Love, thank you for the $5 super chat. You checking out the new Dana Terrace cartoon, Knights of Guinevere?
Yeah, I liked it. I'm actually gonna do a review on tomorrow because I don't think I'm gonna have time to get to a movie this week. But yeah, I thought it was good. I wish it was a two-part pilot. I like this first part, but it feels like, you know how like sometimes when they'll release the first episode of something, even if it's usually a half hour long, the first one won't be an hour long, and they'll split up into two parts. That's what this feels like. This feels like the first half of an hour long episode because they introduce one of the main characters at the very end. Well, not introduced, but you see her, do something where she doesn't really do anything early on, and I'm just like, but I want to know what this character is and what this character is like and everything. So it does make me want to see more, but that's the one thing where I'm like, oh, I wish they did two in a row. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
Patrick, thank you for the $5 super chat. Disney Semper on 102 Dalmatians this year?
I think I have it as a backup if any of the other ones like fall out, but I don't think so. I think I got all the movies I'm gonna review this year. It's always on the list, but like I say, it is one of those that keeps getting backed out.
Nate, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, has there ever been a film your crew, like Rob, Malcolm, or Heather in particular, pushed you towards doing an NC on?
I remember one time my boss said, "You gotta do Sharknado." I was like, "All right, it's a big hit right now." Trying to think. I mean, it's usually just Oh no, I take it back. Rob really wanted me to do Playing with Fire, and we knew it wasn't gonna do numbers. Nobody was gonna see it, but just the way he talked about it, I'm like, I want to do this for me, kind of thing. And it was beautifully awful. It was fascinatingly bad. So yeah, there might be one or two others, but those are the only ones coming to mind.
Ice Luigi, thank you for the $10 super chat. Have either of you seen the teaser trailer for the upcoming Super Mario Bros. Movie sequel? And if so, thoughts? I also heard it's based off Galaxy, my favorite game in the series. Yeah, I'm so excited for it to be Galaxy. We got to get you to play Galaxy before the movie.
Yeah, that's what I was saying before the movie comes out. I should stream the game. I think that'll be fun. I mean, it looked good. I mean, it is just a teaser. It's just hey, here's just the character sitting around, and
Right.
we're going to space, and that's kind of it. But that's fine. That's perfectly fine for a teaser.
On a Joker, thank you for the 500 bits. Thoughts on the movie The Disaster Artist, and do you happen to know Greg Sestero's thoughts on it? It's become a comfort movie for me.
Yeah, I really liked it a great deal. Even though it is very different from the book, it is definitely more romanticized. But that's okay. I had a feeling it would be. Some of it would be hard to translate into a film narrative, but no, I enjoyed it a great deal. And yeah, I think Greg liked. I think his thoughts are the same. He really liked it. He did know it was romanticized and it was more simplified. But he gets that. He's in that world and he understands it. And yeah, I enjoyed it quite a bit.
At Movies, thank you for the 500 bits, and they said we can just skip it because it was the same comment about the role in The Great Race originally going to Julie Andrews.
Gotcha.
Truth, Hope, Love, thank you for the $5 super chat. If they have a celebrity as Yoshi, at least let it be someone who can do a high-pitched and nasally like Karen, or Howie Mandel. Howie Mandel as Yoshi. It's like the wildest statement. Howie Mandel as Yoshi is more mind-boggling to me than Chris Pratt as Mario.
You think so? That's the voice of like Gizmo and Bobby's World and stuff like that. Yeah, no, I think he's doing that kind of voice. He's like half the Muppet Babies. Yeah. If he's doing like that kind of voice, I could. If it's his normal voice, 100% agree. That's weird. But yeah, I feel like if he's doing that voice, it's actually not a bad choice. Yeah, I don't know. And would they just have him say Yoshi, or would he actually talk? I don't know. When I first heard the original choices for the characters, I'm like, for a good half of them. But they turned out pretty decent. So yeah, I don't know. I'll just see what they have in mind.
James, thank you for the $5 super chat. This is part 1 of 2. Before your con week, I watched some Looney Tunes I haven't seen before, and 3 are making my favorite titles watched this year. To be continued.
Okay.
KJK, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey, Doug, I know it won't happen this year, but next year, any chance we get a Disney December on Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes? In my opinion, it's right up there with Spectacular Spider-Man.
I've had it recommended before. I think there's way too many other shows in front of it that people want me to see, and I want to see a little bit more too. But it has been recommended before, so I think I do have it on the list. But again, it's just kind of low down there. Especially, I think if I wait like just a little bit longer, maybe it will become nostalgic, and maybe people will want to look back on, kind of thing. So I'll probably get to it at some point.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, which Oscar winning performance do you enjoy more? Whoopi Goldberg in Ghost or Marissa Tomei in My Cousin Vinny?
I do like Goldberg in Ghost. I know she's technically just doing her normal thing. I'll say this: I like both performances. Oscar nominations is a little weird. I like they're giving it for comedy. A comedy is, a great art form and everything, but both of those I thought was a little odd. But no, I like her a little bit more in Ghost. And maybe what I like is that film is a lot darker, both literally and figuratively. Just it's very dark looking at it in the shadows. But so I thought that comedy not only brought a lot of levity, but when scenes had to get serious and really heavy, she could play those really well too.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Some people have been recommending you Veggie Tales episodes, so I thought I would recommend one. It is called Larry Boy, and the fib from outer space. It's about a little space alien who tricks a boy into telling lies. Each time the boy lies, the alien gets bigger, and eventually he becomes a giant and attacks the city. And now the superhero Larry Boy and his butler Alfred must help the boy fix his mistakes. Talk about a way to teach kids to tell the truth.
Well, I don't need to see it. You just told me everything that happens. No. I should see something Veggie Tales at some point. A lot of people said, "You ever gonna do the Veggie Tales movie?" Well, have you seen the Veggie Tales movie, Heather?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I need to know anything about Veggie Tales going into it, or can I go in blind?
You can just go in blind. I don't think you really need to know much about anything.
I might. I forget if I have it on the list. I don't know. I'll write it down because so many people have wanted me to do a Veggie Tales something.
Alex the Animator, thank you for the 500 bits. Which Christopher McDonald villain do you like more? Shooter McGavin in Happy Gilmore or Kent Mansley in The Iron Giant?
I'll say Kent Mansley, but just by a little. Shooter has the funnier lines, and you have his great facial reactions with it. But I do find we quote Kent Mansley a lot more. It's just my brother and I will sort of throw lines back and forth at each other. Yeah, I'll go with it, but it's very, very close.
James, thank you for the $10 super chat. This is part 2 of 2. The 3 cartoons are Little Red Riding Rabbit with your favorite Little Red, Windblown Hair, where the 3 pigs trick bugs, and Pigs in a Polka, 3 pigs set to classical music.
Yeah, all those are great. Yeah, it is funny. They all have like a fairy tale vibe to them. But yeah, no, I remember my mom, well, again, she was, Looney Tunes for kids or whatever. And she saw the second one you were talking about with the 3 pigs, trick bugs. And she was laughing really hard at it. She was like, this is actually pretty funny. And I was telling you, they're written for grown-ups first. So yeah, all of those are really great.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Favorite Robert Redford performances?
Robert Redford. He's one of those actors. Obviously, I know who he is, and it was sad when he passed and everything, but he is one of those where I kind of got to look them up again because I don't want to say they're all how to put it? I like him more as a director than an actor. He's a very good actor, don't get me wrong, but it's always kind of that same style that he does. He's the very heroic, chisel-jawed hero that has to do what needs to be done, and he does it great. I just sort of see it a lot from him. So when I see him do something different, like direct, like Ordinary People is just spectacular. You would never assume he directed that. It just doesn't seem at all like his other roles. I really, really enjoy him quite a bit. But in terms of acting, I'm just gonna, All the President's Men is pretty great. Butch Cassidy, obviously. I mean, it's just gonna be like your favorites. You know what I mean? It's all the ones that he's best known for. Yeah, those are pretty good.
Nate, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, has there ever been a time watching a movie where you thought you were watching with top Garbage Pail Kids and then were relieved that it didn't?
I don't know. There's movies that are really difficult to watch, maybe even more difficult to watch than Garbage Pail Kids sometimes, but it's more because of the boredom of it. It's really hard to find that perfect mix or that perfectly awful mix of fascinatingly bad, but also really boring and also really insulting. It kind of hits like every bullet point. Um, maybe Nutcracker 3D was pretty close. Cat in the Hat was pretty rough too. Yeah, whatever ones I had on the new top 10 worst movies ever be for NC. That's that's still the lineup.
Lime Peel, thank you for the £5 super chat. Doug, what is the worst Disney live action movie from their awful run in the 90s, i.e., Inspector Gadget, Gordy, Mr. Magoo, or others?
Oh, I forgot. Gordy was one of those. Ugh. Um, Probably Inspector Gadget. That was pretty. Yeah, I'm not even gonna look. I'll just say that Inspector Gadget sounds right.
Honest Reviewer, thank you for that 40-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Sup, Doug and Heather. Well, the long-awaited Wolverine trailer was released this PlayStation State of Play. Hope you'll be ready when it releases next year. I saw that right before stream. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It's gonna be so good.
I have not seen this.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so good. It's a Wolverine game made by Insomniac.
It's the people who did Spider-Man, right?
Yes!
Yeah.
And everything that they showed so far looks like it's gonna be bloody. It's gonna be visceral. You're tearing people apart with your claws. I'm so excited.
I'm pretty excited. That sounds pretty awesome. I'm still listening. I'm just closing the shades here.
Climmer, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey guys, so my Planet Fitness is now playing Boomerang on TV. They're playing Scooby-Doo in between the screens that play Fox News and CNN.
I mean, that makes sense. You're watching 3 cartoons lined up, so I think it adds up.
Truth, Hope, Love, thank you for the $5 super chat. You watched LS Mark's Catching Up, I heard. What are yours and Rob's thoughts? Also, meant Chris Kattan on my list question, or on my last question.
I had a feeling that that's who you were talking about. Yeah, it's funny. The perfect comparison I can make is there's a show that just dropped on Netflix. I think it's called Haunted Hotel, and it's not bad or anything like that. But I'm watching, I'm thinking, boy, this feels like a kid show with adult jokes in it, and that's what I felt with the pilot that he did. Like it's good and it's nice, it's entertaining and stuff, but it does feel like this is something that was kind of made for kids, but then out of nowhere has like an adult joke. I'm like, oh, okay. Kind of thing. So that would be a little jarring, but I guess you could argue that's also kind of what's fun about it. You don't usually see that. And it's kind of fun to mix it up a little bit. So, and because it is the internet, it's not something where it's like, well, you need to know the target demographic. You need to hit them, direct and everything. You can just kind of make what you want to make, which is really, really nice. And that's what that feels like. It feels like it wanted to harken back to a lot of like cartoons of the 90s, but just with a little bit more of a, like a few swear words in there and everything. But I liked it. I wasn't like blown away by it. I mean, it's more than I could ever do, certainly. But I remember enjoying it.
The Disney Nerd, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have either of you seen the final trailer for Wicked for Good? It's been my most anticipated film all year, and that trailer only cemented it.
Yeah, it's looking better and better the more I see it. And what I'm liking about it too is, I mean, you kind of know they're gonna knock it out of the park, but when those two actresses are together, man, just the little facial expressions, the little looks in their eyes and everything, like. That I don't know, that line where she says, "Look at me," and she kind of smiles, says, "No, look at me the way they look at me," and she gets like really teary-eyed. I'm like, that was a pretty powerful moment. I thought that was really, really good.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Which episode of Batman the Animated Series do you like the most?
Almost got him. That's
great episode.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, just the setup alone is just brilliant.
Wizard of What, thank you for the $5 super chat. Part 1, hot take. I really enjoy Wicked the Broadway musical, but I absolutely do not like the ending. I'll try not to give too much away in Part 2.
I bet I know why, but I'll wait for Part 2.
Fandom Theorist, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey Doug, I have 2 questions. How often do Chaplin and Buster meow? And what are your thoughts on the Batman villain, the Mad Hatter?
Oh, I love the Mad Hatter. Oh, I'm with Heather. I think that should be the Batman villain. I think they could do a lot of cool
Fits
stuff with
super
that.
well in that world.
Yeah, we never had him on the big screen either, so that'd be really cool. Yeah, Chaplin meows a lot more than Buster, but Buster's catching up. He's starting to do it more and more. He did just have his teeth cleaned though, and he had to have 2 teeth pulled. So hopefully it's not, reacting to that. But yeah, so he has been meowing a little bit more, but he's also been more affectionate, which is kind of nice.
Truth, Hope, Love, thank you for the $5 super chat. So, Kei Hui Kwan isn't the only former child actor whom you've made fun of for voicing in Zootopia 2. Macaulay is voicing in it too.
Well, where am I and where are they? I think they're doing a little better than I am. There was a convention I was at where I was hosting a panel for child stars and he was supposed to be one of the ones there. And then I just heard, oh, he's not showing up. And I'd never heard any reason or anything. I always had a theory. I'm like, oh man, is it because I made fun of him in Temple of Doom? I always had this horrible thought. It's like, well, I could have met an Oscar winner and I just had to be a jackass. So if that's even it, I have no idea if that's it. I doubt he even remembers it. But yeah, no, it's with all that stuff, I always try to make it clear. Again, it was more of a character back then, but that I'm going off of what the film is giving me. Certainly. And I still say Macaulay Culkin in that first Home Alone movie is just stellar. I mean, just absolutely perfect. But we know he had a lot going on at the time. And even if he didn't have a lot going on, you become like the world's biggest star and you're a little kid, you're probably going to act a little different. So all that plays a part. I don't know the story of what's going on. I'm just going off of what the film is giving me.
KJK, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey, Doug, I know your feelings about the sequels, but what do you think of the first Hangover movie?
I love the idea. So a part of me almost wonders if it's from jealousy, because my brother and I had this idea about writing a movie where people just wake up hungover and they don't remember anything. They try to retrace their steps and see all the crazy stuff they did. So there was always a part of me that was kind of like, well, am I just angry about that? But no, I was really excited to see it because I do like that idea. And I came up with a similar idea. And so Rob, and when I saw it, I don't know, it didn't make me laugh that much. And some of the stuff, especially early on with Zach Galifianakis, I was just like, ew, like this is pretty ewy to me, like not in a fun way. But I don't remember like hating it. I just remember not really getting into it. I think I like the idea more than the presentation. And I hear the sequels are just awful, so I didn't even try them.
The Wizard of What, thank you for the $5 super chat. This is part 2. I don't like how they pulled a Frozen 2 and had a lazily written cop-out to what could have been a very tragic ending. Thoughts? Without spoilers, because not everyone has seen the Broadway show.
So I do not know the book. I don't know if that's the ending of the book. I'm assuming it is, like they have on the Broadway show. So it's like Rob saw it first. And, after, oh, it's really good. You got to go see it and everything. And I was like, oh, yeah. And we were talking a little bit what it was about. And we got to a little bit of the ending. And Rob's like, yeah, they kind of make you think something else is going on. And then they switch it up. And I'm like, that's fine, I guess. And I'm the exact same way. I'm just like, okay. When I get there, like, especially if it's in the book, what can you do? But, yes, I would have preferred, for lack of a better way of putting it, the first ending. I think I would have liked more, but I also get it. I'm not going to act like there's nothing to that second ending. There's certainly things you can take out of it, and there is a lot of things about that are very clever, but I'm with you. I'm the cold-hearted bastard that says, go darker.
Nate, thank you for the $5 super chat. Would you consider an NC on Pet Sematary at some point? It would give you a good opportunity to really utilize Buster and Chaplin.
That's true. It's funny. I like that movie. Well, okay, so I'm talking about the TV movie now, and actually the other movie for the most part I liked. But I found out a lot of people, a good friend of mine, he's a critic, and he was just like, oh, I mean, you liked it because it was so bad, right? Because it was so horrible. I'm like, no, I legit really enjoyed it. And I was really surprised to find it as such a cult following for being such a bad movie. On the other hand, I mean, some of it does go so over the top crazy. I guess I can see why, but the dread in it, I just thought was just so thick you could cut with a knife. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I still enjoyed it unironically, and I guess the stuff that doesn't work, maybe that I do enjoy ironically.
Star Wars Satan, thank you for that 37-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
that. Doug, what are your thoughts of actors green screening their performances or their scenes without even knowing who they're acting against in Avengers Doomsday? Do you think that's going to affect the movie?
It wouldn't be the first time that's happened. I gotta just see how they do it. If they're doing it for like, we don't want to give it away, we want it to be a surprise. Sure. Keep in mind there was a lot of actors acting in Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back who didn't know the secret about Darth Vader. It was just, I think, James Earl Jones and Mark Hamill. So he's like, just and obviously the director is like, you and I know that's it. Tells him it's like, play it like that. So I gotta just wait and see. My thought would be it'd be smarter to tell them who they're playing against. But for all we know, they could be doing that just because, well, we could switch it up and have another character come in to pay if we get the copyright rights or we get the copyright to them or this actor involved or whatever. That would honestly almost be my next guess why they're doing that. Just be like, well, if we want to switch it out for something else, we could.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In the second season of Owl House, a major story is King looking for his father. How did you feel when it was revealed who his father was?
It was good. It's one of those where it's another one where they had one ending and then they had another one, and they're both good. And I like the fact I'm satisfied with either of them. But how it did pay off and who they got to voice him, obviously, I was a fan of. So I thought it turned out pretty decently.
Truth, Hope, Love, thank you for the $5 super chat. You ever watched Fleischer's attempts at movies, those being Gulliver's Travels and Mr. Bug Goes to Town?
Yes, I like that. They're very ambitious. Gulliver's Travels, you can kind of tell they're trying to do something Snow White-ish. And honestly, it's not done bad, and I like the attempt. It's not even a bad movie. It just couldn't quite hit, what something like Snow White did. And Mr. Bug Goes to Town is very unique. I don't know if I like it, and maybe I have to see it again because I didn't even know it existed until like a couple of years ago. So I watched it, and I'm like, boy, this is different. This is like really trying something new while utilizing a bunch of stuff that was very popular with Fleischer and just animation at the time. But I think I liked it. I don't know. It's one of those I think I gotta put on one more time.
Eccentric Gentleman, thank you for the 10-pound super chat. Sorry to ask this again, but have you given any more thought to a V for Vendetta NC? In the last week, reality has become a little bit more like the movie. November 5th would be great.
I think you just said the exact reason why I don't want to do it right now. I already have the rest of the year planned out for the movies I'm going to review too. And no, that's one of the reasons. So it is I like the film. It is one of those I'm not super passionate about, but it is very interesting to talk about. Maybe when things calm down. I know there's some people out there that be like, no, this is the time to talk about. I get that. If I was a political channel, maybe. If I brought in politics a lot into my reviews, maybe. But it's only if the movie absolutely demands it. And I think that one kind of does, to some extent. And yeah, there's way too many easy parallels you can point to. And I just don't think it's wise. You're getting bombarded by that everywhere else. I think it's smarter for me to be a place where you can go where it's like, yeah, sometimes we talk about it and take a few light jabs, but for the most part, it's a place to kind of get away from all that.
Truth, Hope, Love, thank you for the $5 super chat. So I heard you watched Mufasa. Curious, you still think this version of Timon and Pumbaa are funny?
They pushed the envelope pretty hard in that one in terms of comedy. They started off funny. I actually thought they started off okay. The jokes I thought were working. But man, the more they kept cutting back to it, just the worse they got. And you could tell that was like a note from Disney after more Timon and Pumbaa. Yeah, keep cutting back to them. And they just, it just got worse and worse and worse. So Yeah, no, I'll say this too. When they got at their worst, they were 10 times worse than what was in the original animated Lion King. I like them a lot more than that version.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, have you seen Mufasa yet? And if so, what are your thoughts? Ironically.
It still doesn't work, but it's one of those kind of up there with Cruella and Pete's Dragon. I was kind of close. I was a little close to liking it. There's a lot of things I really enjoyed in the film. I thought the backstory they gave them actually was pretty interesting, even though some things were a little gimmicky. It worked into defining them in a much more interesting way than most movies handle it. And I will say this too: I'm looking at it as the prequel to the original Lion King, not the live action one. Okay, if it's or whatever the redone one, because it was the redone one, they didn't have much personality. Where if I'm looking at from the standpoint of like the original hand drawn one, I think it's an interesting backstory. I think there is a lot of interesting things you can read into it, but it's the problems everybody says. The songs aren't that great. Some things are a little too convenient. There are choices that don't add up, and sometimes it does get a little too gimmicky. But I was close. I was actually much more close than I thought I would be.
BR, thank you for the £5 super chat. I live in Liverpool, so I've managed to see some of the upcoming Clayface movie being shot. All the Gotham props lying around the place is very cool.
Boy, I'm gonna sound like a dummy. There's a Clayface movie being made. I totally missed that. Cool. All right. I wonder what version they're gonna do. Are they gonna do like the old timey Hollywood, or is it gonna be like a modern Clayface movie? Yeah. Huh. All right. I'm curious about that. I'm intrigued.
Truth, Hope, Love, thank you for the $5 super chat. You've been on a horror kick lately, so maybe you'll check out Good Boy. But I saw The Rock Oscar bait Smashing a Machine is coming the same week.
Yeah, I had early screening for that too, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna be able to make it. Also, I have no idea if people are that interested in what I think about The Rock Oscar bait. It does look good. Honestly, I'll say this, man. After seeing him in these trailers, I think he should play Andre the Giant. I think they should do an Andre the Giant movie. I think you should play him. I think he really looks a lot like him, and they could do some cool stuff with that. But yes, Good Boy also looks like a good movie.
Michael, thank you for the $2 super chat. Truth, Hope, Love, thank you for the $10 super chat. So Pokemon the first movie is no longer the highest grossing anime movie in America. That is now the movie that's also the highest grossing anime movie, period. Demon Slayer Infinity Castle.
Man, I wish I knew anything about Demon Slayer. That is really cool that it beat Pokemon, because you think it's more of like a niche audience, like just this very diehard underground audience. But it's like, I mean, to beat Pokemon, that's a Pokemon at its height. That's a big deal. That's very, very impressive.
The Westinator, thank you for the $5 super chat. Any chance of there being a Disney-cember where you visit the Disney parks, like what Walter did for Universal?
Yeah, we've talked about it. Honestly, Walter doing that was kind of like a test run to see if we wanted to do that. And even if not, I have been there before, and I have ridden a lot of the rides. I could technically do them from memory and use footage from online and everything. But I feel like it makes more sense to go, especially because they probably have made changes to a lot of those rides.
Yeah.
We talked about it.
Oh, bro, thank you for the $10 super chat. I was wondering if you could check out the game Conker's Bad Fur Day. It seems right up your alley in terms of comedy, and it opens up referencing one of your favorite films.
Boy, what's it called again?
Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Conkers? How do you spell it?
Conkers.
Bad Fur. I feel like I've heard of that before. Oh, it's N64. Oh. I don't like 64 games, but maybe one day we'll see. Maybe we'll put it on the list. I think I can already see the joke that you're talking. The first thing that pops up is a very Lola-ish looking, I think, squirrel. I mean, like almost the exact same design. I'm just like, okay, I think I can take a guess on what the joke is.
Jacob, thank you for the $50 super chat. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Loved that you dug The Long Walk. It was the second book Stephen King wrote under his pseudonym Richard Bachman. The first was the now sadly out of print 1977 novel Rage. If you have the time or money to track down a copy, I recommend getting it.
Yeah, I hate to say, because I have heard the movie's very similar to the book, and it certainly feels like it. Reading is, man, it sounds so silly to say. Reading's still tricky for me. Like I can for work, but just for doing it for pleasure, like actually really, it kind of hurts my brain, which again doesn't sound the best either. But with the fatigue, it just really does make it trickier. And sometimes it'll go away; it'll be pretty easy to do. But yeah, recently it's been a little rough. So man, I love to, but there's a lot of books I was reading and a lot of biographies, and I just had to, put them back in the basement because I'm like, yeah, I'm just not back there yet.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. What are your thoughts on the film We're the Millers? It got mixed reviews, but I thought it was pretty hilarious. The cast is excellent.
Let me double check. We're the Millers. No, I don't think I ever saw this movie. No, I take it back. I saw bits of it at a hotel. Oh, was I liking it or not? No, it was both. There was parts of it I was really liking, other parts I'm like, oh come on, that kind of thing. So, I never did see the whole thing. So maybe one day I'll watch all of it.
Truth, Hope, Love, thank you for the $5 super chat. This is part one. I heard about what you said on the last Ronin TMNT movie, and I am appalled. You are the guy who complained about Gotta Catch 'Em All. To be continued.
Oh yeah, but I mean, good lord, after a certain point with Ninja Turtles, I definitely have. There's lots I have not seen.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Heather, which Jeremy Jordan character do you like more? Varian from Tangled or Lucifer from Has Been Hotel? I'm gonna go with Lucifer, but I feel like I haven't really seen all of Varian's arc as a character yet, but I could be wrong. He might be done. Truth, Hope, Love, thank you for the $5 super chat. This is part two. And had the chart, guys, but now you say you don't know how to market this great, possibly adult idea? I thought you were against marketing.
I see what you're talking about. No, I just don't know the look, it's show business is both show and business. And like I said, there's movies that have come out that I'm like, well, I like this. I don't know the mass public are gonna go see it. Warner Bros. Did that quite a bit with that Christopher Reeve documentary, which and was it the War of Rohirrim and stuff like that, which is cool to see him on the big screen. But I mean, like, I just don't see people flocking to the theaters to see them, and they didn't. But then you have something like Dune, which I just thought, oh, like I like this, but nobody's gonna be able to follow it. They think it's gonna be an action film, and it's not. And I was completely wrong. People really got into it and loved the world and the size of it and everything. So yeah, I could be totally wrong on that. I'm just going off of sort of like a general feel. But like I said, I've been wrong before. I hope I'm wrong because it sounds like a cool idea.
KJK, thank you for the 500 bits. In Avengers Age of Ultron, what do you think of Ultron himself? Aside from Whedon's forced comedy, I actually thought he was a really cool villain with some legitimately great dialogue.
Yeah, the only problem is that that villain had already been done. Not just a couple times in other movies, but I feel like a couple times just in Marvel. And it needed some kind of new spin to it. When Thanos came around, that was the new spin, that was the new take, and it was done very, very well. But I like the way he was played. I like the way James Spader played him. It was just missing one other, as Cosmonaut Variety Hour says, he was missing the sauce. And that's why I feel like this isn't a bad villain, but he's just missing the sauce. He's missing that one ingredient to make him like, ooh, that was a good baddie. But he's not, I can't say he's a bad villain. Well, he's supposed to be bad, but you know what I mean? Like poorly done. I enjoyed him enough.
What up, JD? Thank you for the $5 super chat. Absolute worst superhero movie. X-Men Origins, Wolverine, sorry. Green Lantern, Fan Four Stick, or Madam Web?
Probably Fan Four Stick. And I think a lot of it goes off of how unpleasant was it and how much do I not remember. And Madam Web, I remember like everything about it. I love it. I mean, it's so enjoyably bad. X-Men Origins Wolverine is like, yeah, it's lame. It's not good, but I do remember parts of him or some good stuff. I just don't remember a thing about Fan Four Stick except just what a miserable experience it was. It was boring. It wasn't interesting to look at. The ideas weren't really that fascinating. It didn't feel like the source material. Just everything it felt like it got wrong.
Joel B, thank you for the 500 bits. Thoughts on the Australian classic Crocodile Dundee, one of the best fish out of water stories I've ever seen.
Yeah, I like it. It's interesting that it took over America as big as it did. There was kind of a big Australian craze after that movie. Australia's cool. I got no problems with it. It's just it's weird that that's the movie that kind of did it. But no, it's charming and I like it. You know, it, some of it you have to know. I mean, I feel like most people know this, but it's not like, all Australians are like that. No, I think people know that's not the case. But I liked I thought the actors were very charming. The comedy worked pretty well.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. I've been rewatching anime a lot more now during free time, especially the old school Digimon. What types of anime do you watch, Doug?
Well, now not a ton. If I watch anything, it's something I've already seen. And it's just a time thing because I do like anime. I just don't have time to watch a lot of it. But no, I saw Full Metal Alchemist. I saw Kino's Journey is one not a lot of people know, but I saw the original and I saw the reboot. Paranoia Agent is phenomenal. That's a really good anime. Cowboy Bebop, Wolverine, like a lot of the big ones that people know. Yeah, I'm assuming you're talking about shows with that. So yeah, it's a couple.
KJK, thank you for the 500 bits. Which do you prefer, The Office or Parks and Rec?
Oh, Parks and Rec by far. Oh man, I feel bad because The Office started a lot of things and it started a lot of careers, and it's not like it's a bad show. It just gets on my nerves. The stuff I don't like in it is just so grating to me, and I will admit a lot of it is around that romance. And I know so many people are like, well, that's what's fun. It is kind of annoying. It is kind of, how often is he going to look at the camera? Yeah, I know, but it just really, really gets on my nerves. I can't stand it. Steve Carell can be very funny, but he can also be very annoying. And I think that's it. Everyone is they're doing their job a little too well at either being really annoying or just so charming. Like it just gets on my nerves where everyone in Parks and Rec just found that perfect balance. And I thought just worked out so well. And I wanted to see every one of their reactions to whatever was going on. Minus the first season. I did not enjoy the first season that much. But after that, season 2 on, I thought it was just fantastic.
Lefty, thank you for the 500 bits. Just wanted to say it was so awesome seeing you guys at Cleveland and gifting Doug the Critical Edge lightsaber. That was definitely one of the highlights of the year for me. May the force be with you. Yeah, it was wonderful meeting you too.
That was really cool. Yeah, I literally just walked into the studio. Walter was editing, and he was editing in the dark. And I was like, you need some light. So that was pretty fun.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Collateral, what do you think of Jamie Foxx?
Oh, he's good. I think he did a good job playing someone that he either could have been too panicky or too in control, and either way, that would have been a real disservice. But I thought he found that balance pretty well. I thought he handled it. I was rooting for him. I want him to get out okay. I thought he was interesting. Both before and during, picking up Tom Cruise. So, I thought he was very good in it.
Majestic Demon, thank you for that 65-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back. Appreciate that. Must get to 69 months. I will never give up. By the way, have you seen the original Crazies from 1973? Personally, it did nothing for me. I think the remake from 2010 is better.
Crazies 1973? Is that what
correct?
You said? No. Oh, it's a George A. Romero movie. Okay. No, I have not. I'll try to check it out.
Mountain, thank you so much for that subscription over on Twitch. Welcome. Appreciate that. Thank you. Eclipse Ninja, thank you for the 500 bits. Indie horror film Good Boy coming out October 3rd. If you want to support an indie film, been told it's great. But my question is, does your dad's military career affect the way you view the military portrayed in films?
Sometimes. I always have an issue when someone's given an order and I know what they're doing, and it's not even like, oh, that's bull crap. It's like, no, it's a very valiant thing they're doing where somebody gives an order and they hesitate. Well, do I do it? Do I not? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, you are trained to do this and carry it out as best as possible, because if everybody worked off of their hesitations and everything, nothing would get done. Because you have to do stuff that is incredibly unpleasant, and it's not always going to be right. You just have to trust the higher ups, and that is the point in movies when they do that somebody's humanity comes in and says, no, even though I've gone through this training, this is wrong. I get that. It just happens so often in movies, and I think it kind of shows that, like, well, they didn't train them hard enough, or they're not disciplined enough, kind of thing. Like, and I know it's not what I'm supposed to get out of it, but like that is kind of what I get out of it a lot of times. So, I get the idea of the trope, and again, it's a very valiant idea, but yeah, it's one of those things where, in a weird way, I feel like it shows disrespect. It shows disrespect for all the training that you did and what you were doing it for. Even though, again, I know the trope is supposed to be the opposite of that. So I don't know. It's an interesting cross.
Jager, thank you for the $10 super chat. Do you enjoy these comedies? The Jerk, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, Animal House, Caddyshack. Also, because of your long walk.
For me, the novelty wasn't strong enough, but it's not like an awful movie or anything. It just doesn't do it for me. But no, the others I love, I think are very, very funny.
Crass, thank you for the $5 super chat. What are your thoughts on the new South Park season so far, and have you watched Fix yet?
No, I have it on the queue. I still haven't watched it. And I haven't, even though I know they're making the news a lot, I haven't seen any of the new South Park. I haven't watched South Park in years. And again, it's nothing about the quality of the show. I just haven't had time. I mean, I think the last, I didn't stop at the Game of Thrones Black Friday parody, but it was like maybe a season or two before that. And it was just going on for so long. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't have time to watch it anymore. I have to do other stuff. So yeah, when it makes the news, it is interesting. I like it can still make the news, but yeah, I'm just way too far behind.
Brady, thank you for the $5 super chat. 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a wizard war. I cast manual breathing.
I cast thumb, because now it's a thumb war. My thumb's pretty big. At least it is on the webcam, so I win.
There you go.
I don't know.
Sean, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey, Doug, John Wayne has been mentioned once or twice in your videos, but what do you think of his work as a whole, and does one of his films stand out as a favorite?
Oh, what was that one? True Grit is pretty good. Red River's good for the ending. Which some people hate, but I really like. I'm sure there's other good stuff he's done, but it is one of those where I kind of can't get past. I don't know if he can get past it either. The image, the icon of him, and the voice and everything. It's a little distracting for me. It never quite feels genuine. When it does work. Like I said, True Grit I think does work. But I don't know. It's just a little too much of a persona. I see people putting makeup on him, making sure the hat is perfect. He's standing just right, like that kind of thing. I can't just see a person. Maybe that's why I liked him more in True Grit, because he's supposed to be more disheveled and off his game and everything. But I don't dislike him or anything as an actor. I just never really got into it. It's just not my thing.
Epic Kevster, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen LS Mark's video on you?
No, I haven't. I don't know if I'm gonna have time. I'm flattered, that there's a video and everything. But videos on me, I'll be honest, I don't seek out. I know some people look up every comment, every video, everything on them, and once in a while I do. But a lot of it is, yes, I want to entertain people, and it is good to listen to criticism. But that is kind of why I'll generally kind of look over the comments once in a while, look at a video, but I also just kind of like doing this because I think it's fun and I like entertaining people. If I'm really off the mark, which does happen sometimes, I take note and I try to get back on track. But no, I'm not somebody that really looks at a lot of film analysis or a lot of dissecting of the career or anything like that. I mean, you can do it. It's fine. It's just not something I seek out. If anything, I feel like it would get in the way of like me trying to. Maybe that's it. Because I remember when I was starting off, I would watch my older videos more to be like, well, what worked in this? Let's try to do more of that. And I'm realizing more, not just kind of the doing what feels genuine and spontaneous or what feels comfortable. That makes more sense than looking back, not just other people's point of view looking at me, but also me just looking at me. I'm trying to go more off of just what the film gives me and what the material gives me. And I feel like it works better when I do that. That's not to say you can't make videos, and it could be a wonderfully made video. It's just not something I seek out usually.
Eclipse Ninja. Thank you for gifting that sub to Power Rangers fan over on YouTube, or not YouTube,
Thank you.
Twitch. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you seen the Tom Cruise film Oblivion?
No, is that the guy I'm thinking of? The guy who did like District 9 and everything? Let me see, because I'm not a big fan of that guy's movies. Let me see. Let me find IMDb. There it is. Yeah, man. Who did this movie? Joseph Kosinski. Oh no! Actually, it's a guy who just directed very good movies. Oh shoot! Oh, maybe I gotta see this now. it didn't look like much to me. It just looked like a reason for Tom Cruise to jump off a cliff on a motorcycle. But if that guy's directing it, no, maybe I do want to see it. I'll let you know if I check it out.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. I did a rewatch of Batman and Robin and The Dark Knight. Did you ever do a double feature of a bad Batman movie and a good one before?
It's a fun idea. Just to see the difference. No, I don't think so. Well, part of it is too, the Batman movies are very long. So the idea of doing a double feature, that's gonna take some investment. Like I said, I don't even have time to watch new stuff. So yeah, watching stuff that I'm already pretty familiar with back to back, it would be a little tricky.
Ryan, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen the pilot for Knights of Guinevere? It's Glitch's latest project, co-created by Dana Terrace, the creator of Owl House.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a video on it probably tomorrow. Give my thought, because I don't think I'm gonna be able to see a movie this week. Yeah, I liked it. A long story short, I liked it. It definitely, as everybody said, just tries to rip apart Disney. As long as they do it in a creative way, I'm okay with it. And I do think it was pretty creative. And I'll be curious to see where it goes from here, because obviously there's a guy that's supposed to be a sort of a variation of Walt. I'm curious if they're going to dive more into like the Epcot thing and what that would have been. Like if it, except instead of like a town, it's like the world. He did with like the world. So I'll be very, very curious to see what they follow through with on that.
Joel B, thank you for the 500 bits. So I finally finished Breaking Bad, and I totally see why it's considered one of the best shows ever. Do you have a favorite moment in that show?
I mean, most of the ones between like either Saul, Gus, and Michael, because those are my favorite characters. But for White, just for me personally, because I don't want to give it away, but anytime he would say, "I'm doing it for the family," I'd be like, "Shut up." So when we get to a certain point, you know what point it is, it's very satisfying to hear. And I'm just like, thank God. It's one of those things where, the show's smart enough to be doing something with that. But when it finally gets to that point, it's like, oh, that's nice to hear. Okay. Because like I said, I know it's the idea, but I just really did not like Walter White. I really did not like those people watching, which I know is the idea, but I'm just like, they weren't too fun to watch. But even though I know they're handled very well, like I said, it wasn't until Gus came in and Saul came in and Michael that I really started to pay attention. Well, get into it, I should say.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. And Kingsman, what do you think of Samuel L. Jackson?
He's all right. I don't think you needed the lisp. I don't mind him doing a different type of voice. I have no problem if somebody does a lisp if it helps the character or whatever. But it just sounded like a voice. It sounded like this isn't this guy. This is just Samuel L. Jackson sounding silly. Where I feel like maybe they should have found something else to do with it. But the performance was still fun and entertaining. I just wish they didn't go that angle. Like something else could stand out that could be odd about him that wouldn't be, quite as grating and distracting.
James, thank you for the $10 super chat. Pop quiz, hot shot. What 3 Walt Disney Animation Studios films don't have any songs in them, even in the end credits?
Man, I'm trying to think of ones like, Saludos Amigos or something like that, but I'm like, yeah, even that I think had a song in it. Oh, I think Black Cauldron might be one. Raya might be one. That's the best I can think of right now.
I
I don't
have
even know
the
if those are
answers.
right. All right, yeah, give me the answers.
The answers are Black Cauldron, Rescuers Down Under, and Dinosaur.
Yeah, I guess Rescues Down Under doesn't have a, huh? I just realized that. Okay. All right. Uh, cool. Very cool.
Sleeping Cats, thank you for the 500 bits. In a past video of yours, you said you did not care for the liar revealed / misunderstanding. Was there a film / TV show that you thought worked, that it worked with?
Oh yeah, no, actually, I feel like nowadays they handle it pretty well. Because when it's maybe the thing is that it's not the reveal. I hopefully I made this clear in the when I explained that. Maybe I didn't. It's not even the liar setup or the reveal because that's all actually really fun. It's fun to see someone try to do something that they're not good at, pretending that they've been doing it for years. That's a great setup. But when it's revealed and they just have to mope and dope, and the whole movie comes to a stop, and they're acting like it's high drama, and they're the first one to do it, even though it's been done to death. It's like, okay, nothing new is being discovered. I'm not finding out anything interesting about the characters. Can we just do something different with this? And I feel like movies are doing that now. It'll be a reveal. There'll be a little bit of moping and doping, but then they'll utilize it in a different way, or they'll find out something interesting a lot quicker. K-pop Demon Hunters is a good example of that. I thought the last Madagascar movie was a good example of that. I mean, Madagascar, the conclusion they come to in that last movie with them trying to get home, I was actually like, boy, that was kind of that was an interesting take that they did there that I legit didn't see coming. So, yeah, I think films nowadays are better at. I think they know people get bored at that point and they have to add something new and interesting to it.
Ice Luigi, thank you for the $10 super chat. There's a new Resident Evil game coming out next year titled Requiem. There we go. We got there. Since you played 2 on stream, would you be willing to play Requiem for a future stream once it comes out?
It sounds like a variation of Requiem for a Dream. Requiem for a future stream. Maybe. So are they all kind of different stories, or are they all connected?
Some of them are kind of connected. I don't know. I don't know if you will have had to have played 7 and 8 to understand 9, but they're not all totally connected. Like, you could pick up 7 without having played any other Resident Evil game. So, I don't know. We'll think about 9. I'll have to see and hear if he has to really have played 7 and 8 to understand 9 before we really, do it there. So, we'll see though how it goes. You good, Doug? Maybe not? It's all right, folks. We'll give him a sec. We're all good. The ping pong table is evil and the vending machine is empty. The Resident Evil rec room. That's wild. Yeah, it's all right. It's okay, Doug. I'm just chatting with chat while you see if you can continue on, You're good. You're good. Yeah, if you need us to finish up, I can save the questions for another day. Do you think Tom and Jerry Forbidden Compass? I've never heard of that, but Doug is a lot better at that Tom and Jerry stuff than I am. All right, guys, I'm going to put up a BRB screen here really fast, and we will be back with you, or I'll let you know what's Okay, everyone. Hi. Doug got really hit with the fatigue, as you saw. So here's what we're gonna do. Okay. No stress. We made sure that he's gonna go get some rest. He's not in the room with me, but he has someone who's gonna take care of him. He's all good. That's what his chronic fatigue looks like when it hits him, and it hits him bad. Normally he can snap out of it, but he was just not being able to snap back too. So thank you for your understanding. Don't worry. If you asked a question and we have not gotten to your question yet, I'm going to save all of the questions that we got and put them into a document so that the next time that we have stream, either probably Friday, I'll save these questions for Friday. And we will still answer them. So you didn't, get ripped off or anything like that. We're going to make sure that your questions do get answered by Doug. But he just had the fatigue really hit him right now. So thanks for your understanding, everyone. We're going to wrap it up here. Like I said, we really appreciate your concern and your understanding. Even though he's not in the room with me, I do know that there's someone who's going to take care of him. So you don't have to stress too much that he's not going to be okay. This is just what his chronic fatigue has been manifesting like and looking like. So y'all just got to see that live. That's part of creating live content, I suppose. But thank you all so much for being here. We should be back on Friday. If not, we'll keep you all in the loop about that. But I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening. Malcolm's going to be live on Twitch tomorrow at 10 a.m. or not 10 a.m., 11 a.m. I think he's switching his stream time. So check out our socials for that. And like I said, Doug should be back on Friday. If he is back on Friday, then I'm going to answer the questions then. If not, we'll see you all next week. Again, thank you so much for your understanding, everyone. I will save your questions if you did pay for a question. Yeah, we will see you all later. Okay. All right. Thanks, everyone.